is Food Stories.
This is Food Stories.
This is Food Stories, a podcast from FareShare Greater Manchester.
A podcast from FareShare Greater Manchester.
A podcast from FareShare Greater Manchester.
Hello and welcome to Food Stories from FareShare Greater Manchester. FareShare Greater Manchester is the largest food redistribution charity in the northwest of England, rescuing good-to-eat surplus food from going to waste and redistributing it to charities and community groups who are serving their communities with food. In this episode, we're visiting Trafford Veterans Monthly Breakfast Club.
It's helped ourselves in respect of we needed to feel part of something. When you leave the military, it's hard to replace that camaraderie and that family feel, so that's really helped us. But we're helping a lot of other people through peer support. I've got a whole list over the almost 10 years that we've been running. I've got a whole list of things that we've done to help people. So we raise our own funds, we apply for grants, we have donations, and what we do is if someone needs support, we're able to act quite quickly. We provide food parcels to people purely through the help of FareShare as well. It's been fantastic.
There's people in there that have not seen each other for years, and when we did it, we had like 4 to 5 people turn up at the same time. Didn't know they were all coming, and they were all like, "Oh my God, I've not seen you since training," and so on and so on. And they've all got back together and started. And now they're sitting on the same table with each other and everything like that.
Nipping to me hub on a Friday is a lifesaver for me, and the work that Chris and Claire do saved my life basically. I was in a real bad place at the time, and I got signposted to Chris and Claire through the job centre, and I walked into a welcoming environment with faces that I didn't know any of them, but I did in a way, because they're all part of my community that I'm so much missed.
It's National Food Waste Week, and to mark that, we've released some special episodes looking at where we get the surplus food we use from, as well as where some of it ends up. Last year, here at FareShare Greater Manchester, we rescued and redistributed almost 2,000 tonnes of surplus food which would have gone to waste. In real terms, that's the equivalent of 4.6 million meals that went to 306 charities and community groups across Greater Manchester. One of those organisations is Trafford Veterans, a group of armed forces veterans, emergency service personnel and local volunteers who all live in Trafford. In this, our final episode of the week, we're sharing some of the conversations we had with veterans and volunteers at the Trafford Veterans Breakfast Club, which is held once a month in Flixton.
I'm Claire Squires. I'm one of the co-founders of Trafford Veterans.
Can you tell me about Trafford Veterans? What do you do?
We set up in 2015. My husband and I he'd just left the military and we needed some support, but it was difficult in the area where we lived to identify who to go to, and we thought bringing people together at a breakfast event would be a good idea, because then people could share the stories, and you miss that camaraderie and banter from being in the forces, and that's what this breakfast has done for us. Off the back of that, we've got a fantastic group of volunteers. We have different projects as well, which are peer-led. So there's a model making club, there's the Friday hub where we cook a little lunch for everybody. We've got an orchard project. We've been working with Altrincham Football Club, so the walking football will be up and running again soon. We've got a mobile hub, and of course we've got the breakfast event once a month.
Wow, that's a big undertaking.
Absolutely, but it's all down to our volunteers. They're fantastic.
And who are you helping?
It's helped ourselves in respect of we needed to feel part of something. When you leave the military, it's hard to replace that camaraderie and that family feel, so that's really helped us. But we're helping a lot of other people through peer support. I've got a whole list over the almost 10 years that we've been running. I've got a whole list of things that we've done to help people. So we raise our own funds, we apply for grants, we have donations, and what we do is if someone needs support, we had, for instance, somebody needed a tumble dryer. This was during COVID, and his daughter was diagnosed with autism, and she could only wear warm clothing, but he didn't have the funding or the time to go through the other channels, so we just bought him a tumble dryer. You know, it's just simple, like a quick fix really. We're able to act quite quickly. We provide food parcels to people purely through the help of FareShare as well. It's been fantastic. The Friday hub's been well attended. It started off with just a warm hub when the warm spaces started off, and we were only supposed to run it for 6 months, and it's been going ever since. So that's since 2022 when that started. Every Friday we put on a light lunch. People come in and we're able to, you know, give them a hot meal, and if they need any other further support, we can then do that as well.
When you leave the forces, in the outside world, it's not like what you've spent years developing friendships and close bonds with people, and all of a sudden you're on your own. So I imagine that this is an incredibly important support network for the people who...
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you feel that huge sense of loss. Some people have a good experience with the military, some not so. But some people just need a cup of tea and a chat, and some people need that bit more extra support, you know. When Chris left the army, he joined at 17, and when he left he was 30. And he didn't exist in the NHS system because his medical records were with the MOD, and we had a heck of a job getting a doctor's surgery. They wouldn't take him on because, like, who are you? You know, so it's quite stressful in a way.
Yeah, I can only imagine, especially when you've dedicated so much of your life to your country, and to find problems like that must be awful.
Yeah, and this is why these activities are so important. We try to encourage people to share their hobbies and skills, and that's why the groups run so successfully, because they have a passion in what they do. You know, the model club, the gardening. The gardening isn't for everybody. Model club isn't, you know, for everybody. But we've got different people that attend different groups, and they're the ones that help run them. So it works really well.
Now, in the room where the breakfast club's going at the moment,
yeah,
it's all ages.
Absolutely. Yeah, people think that the word veteran, they always think of World War II. Well, actually, the government definition of a veteran is someone who's drawn 1 day's pay. So you can be in your 20s, you can be, you know, in your late teens and be a veteran, provided you've served and drawn your 1 day's pay. So yeah, it's great. We have the cadets coming in, and they're doing their volunteering for the Duke of Edinburgh. That's where they're here today, and we signed that off for them. So you'll see them running around the room doing little jobs for us.
Yeah, taking the plates out from the kitchen. Yes.
Yeah, and helping in the morning set up, putting the flags up and giving things out, and putting the leaflets out and wrapping the knives and forks and things like that, yeah.
You've mentioned that FareShare helps you as far as the food parcels are concerned.
Yeah.
You know, what kind of a support does FareShare give you?
So we signed up during COVID, and it's been fantastic. We've stayed with it ever since. So during COVID, we spent 54 weeks doing doorstep deliveries to people who couldn't get support. And it all started when one of our elderly veterans in her 90s had gone to Sainsbury's and couldn't get bread and milk. And she was, you know, with the panic buying, couldn't get things, the shelves were empty, and she phoned us in floods of tears. And we thought, what can we do to help these people? So we saw FareShare, and we asked to sign up to it, and we went every week and picked up tin goods and things. And then we ended up doing deliveries, you know, for every week for almost, well, it was more than a year. But we've stayed with it since then, and we've developed the hub on a Friday, and people come in for a light lunch. We get possibly, at the most, we've had like 22 in at once. And then with the tin goods and the sealed goods that's left over, we're able to send those in food parcels to help people, the majority of which are over the age of 80, and we send them home with, you know, food to help them through. This morning's breakfast, we've been helped by a large portion of hash browns, so they've all gone out on the breakfast this morning, which we got from FareShare.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to see it actually being eaten.
it's a good atmosphere. It's great. We love it.
Yeah, I can well imagine. So as well as doing the food here today, I believe you have a performance coming up as well, a musical performance.
Oh yes, I'm quite nervous this morning. I'm part of the North West Veterans Corps of Drums, and that was set up by a former Fusilier who used to play the drums, and he's taught us how to play. Some of us have never picked up a drum before, but it's really good. It's really therapeutic. We're meeting other people, learning a new skill, and yeah, it's quite nerve-wracking though when I'm nervous about going in front of everybody that I know. I don't mind if I don't know them, but this morning I'm just like, woo. Yeah.
Well, you'll be with a friendly audience. That always helps.
Well, I don't know. They might boo us because I know, because we know them. They might throw insults. That's a military thing, They'll go boo. No, they're generally quite good. So
I couldn't help noticing when you were chatting with some of the other volunteers. You were talking about people's particular situations and their problems, and it almost seems like you're kind of problem solving as you're going along.
Yeah, we do a lot of casework. We never know really what's going to come through the door and what's going to come our way. We just we haven't got all the answers, but we are able to make referrals into partner agencies. So for mental health support, the Military Veterans Service, or PTSD resolution, or some of the other organisations, we've got links into employment through Forces Employment, Veterans into Logistics, Veterans Training Academy. There's so many different things that we know about that we can refer into, so that's good. Yeah, to share the knowledge.
Claire's husband and co-founder of Trafford Veterans is Chris Squires. Once a month on a Saturday morning, he can be found in the kitchen at Flixton Cricket Club cooking up umpteen full English breakfasts. I asked him why they do it.
It's to get people to come together, because when you leave the military, you tend to find that you have to have a different sort of feel with other people. So the banter and everything like that is completely different. And when we set this up and we started bringing people together, they were freely in. It was taking them back to when they was in the military and having that different type of banter than you would normally with people in Civvy Street.
I can imagine that connection is so important when you're in the forces, and then suddenly for it to disappear when you come out, it must be a huge adjustment.
It is. The longer you stay in, it's harder. It is harder. But some people just take to it like duck in water, and others like myself don't. I've struggled since I've been out, and some of the others as well. They've struggled, and since they've been back here, it's sort of like changed the path of what the way they were going, and they've enjoyed it, and they come back every month or every week, depending. So yeah, we have one or two of them that do like 3 or 4 activities with us, and they all enjoy it because they know it's the banter and that they can have. It's so much more than just sitting down and having some breakfast together, isn't it? Oh yeah, definitely. The breakfast is just an added bonus for them. So in the other room where everyone is, just bringing people together. There's people in there that have not seen each other for years, and when we did it, we had like 4 or 5 people turn up at the same time. Didn't know they were all coming, and they were all like, "Oh my God, I've not seen you since training," and so on and so on. And they've all got back together and started, and now they're sitting on the same table with each other and everything like that. That's wonderful. It must be so nice to see the impact that you're having on other people's lives. Oh yeah, massively. It is. Obviously, I'm stuck in the kitchen, so I don't really get to see much out on the outside. But yeah, just knowing about it and just hearing the banter and everything like that is just fantastic. And what about the food that you get from FareShare? How does that help you with what you're doing? So it goes to families and veterans who are on their own. We do a warm hub on a Friday where we use the food and we feed them from that food as well, and then whatever's left goes home with veterans, and so everything is distributed. That's fantastic. Nothing goes to waste then. Nothing goes to waste. It's like on Tuesday we bought some hash browns for yourselves, and as you all know, today they were on the plate. It's been put out there, so yeah, all of it comes handy.
Full English, there you go, next pal. My name's Mike. I'm one of the volunteers. We take all the orders for the breakfast and help clear up afterwards when everybody's had enough to eat. I am a retired police officer. Oh, it's good to see everybody and spread a little happiness, and you get to make some new friends. We've made some great friends while I've been here, and hear all the stories from people and help people along and it's a good camaraderie.
I can tell that just listening to some of the conversations and seeing the greetings when people walk through the door. It's old friends.
Yeah, it is. It's nice to put a smile on people's faces and have a little bit of banter with them. And I think as well, for a lot of the people who come out of the forces, they miss the banter and they miss the friends. Whereas sometimes if you're in Civvy Street, so to speak, you don't get that. So they just need that, to help them through the day. And it's good. We've all been in forces of one, or emergency services of one description or another, and it's different kind of lifestyle, if you like, to an average person on the street. So it's good.
And I guess it's the relationship you have with your colleagues.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
You're facing such danger and
you rely on each other so much. I mean, I was a dog handler, and I used to see more of my dog than I did my family, and we relied on each other in so many difficult and dangerous situations. You do become very close, and it's the same with your colleagues. You rely on them to get your back, and vice versa.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Cameras down. We'll put your earplugs in. Please welcome the North West Corner Drums.
In the main function room there were numbered tables. Each table was for a different regiment or service, so anyone who comes along can immediately be sat alongside someone they'll have something in common with. For Anthony Williamson, coming to Trafford Veterans was a lifeline. He's now the group's treasurer.
I don't get out and about much myself, unfortunately, because of my disabilities that I have. But I do attend the hub every Friday, and I go there for my dinner, and I get a nice bag to take away with me as well, which helps me throughout the week. Because there's always items there that I think, oh no, I need to go shopping. I don't get out and can't afford online shopping, and prices are just through the roof. So yeah, nipping to me hub on a Friday is a lifesaver for me, and the work that Chris and Claire do saved my life basically. I was in a real bad place at the time, and I got signposted to Chris and Claire through the job centre, and I walked into a welcoming environment with faces that I didn't know any of them, but I did in a way, because they're all part of my community that I'm so much missed. And sat in a flat on my own, stewing, with me ailments and not being able to get any help or what I wanted. And then it was like having the lights turned on, and and Chris and Claire welcomed me in, and then I'm here today enjoying my breakfast, and I'm just giving back as much as I can in the way that I can help them. So I'm just so grateful for them and the work they do, and yourselves.
It's been a lifeline for you then?
Oh, definitely, life-changing.
Like Anthony, there are other veterans who really look forward to the community of these events and appreciate the help the organisation offers them too. Dave Hodnett is one of those.
Claire and Chris do a brilliant job. I'm not just saying that for the sake of them. I get on well with Chris. I get on with all the crew. JJ, Norma, the likes of. But we get a good collection. Between 12 and 22 each meeting, which is good. It's good for the local community, and like I say, they put a good spread on, and it's well presented.
And what about for you personally? What do you get out of coming along?
Well, it's comradeship. You're meeting old friends, you're making new friends, and it's just nice to get out of the house and meet like people, you know what I mean? Liking people. But other than that, it's just good for the military side get together and the veterans. And Claire and Chris do a great job.
Fantastic. And you get a feed while you're here.
Yeah. As we call it, a nose bag. A nose bag.
It's been brilliant this morning, especially with the drums.
Yeah. I think Claire and Chris have done well, because Claire's not been with the drums long, and I think she's done great picking up with what she does. And Chris has joined them, and the drum major, who is Mitch, is a good old friend of mine. I've known him since 1973. So it's long friends really. You're meeting friends that you've not seen for years, hence years later, and that's the way it goes.
And I take it you just pick up where you left off, kind of thing.
That's exactly it. Yeah. It's as if you've never been away from each other. Like Paul, I've known Paul for years. I might not see him for a while, and I bumped into him again. He wanted to come along. I think he wanted a free meal actually. But no, I think the Trafford Hub do a great job. It's good. It's nice to get together, and the numbers are getting longer, nice high numbers, and it needs to stay that way. But these main meetings, when we meet here once a month, it's great because you've got all units, all different types of uniform, and it's just like one big party.
Since its creation almost a decade ago, Trafford Veterans has been awarded the King's Award for Voluntary Service and was even featured in a podcast series made by community worker Damien Carr. The series focused on mental health issues and was very successful, attracting listeners from around the world and inspiring people to get help with their own situations. After spending time with the group, Damien was inspired to become a director of Trafford Veterans himself.
I started doing a bit of voluntary work, started doing a bit of bid writing for Trafford Veterans, and then, as happens with these things, I got to know everybody, went to the Friday Hub, so thank you very much for the help with the food and everything, because what you guys do is incredible. I mean, obviously working right across Greater Manchester, I know the great work that FareShare does, and I work with a lot of organisations that use your services. So thank you so much for everything you do. But we have the breakfast once a month, as you can see, really well attended. Friendships, people that struggle. Obviously I'm not going to name names or anything, but people that don't really do well with food, so we make sure any surplus food that we get is passed on to them through food parcels, so absolutely nothing goes to waste. We definitely make sure it all gets out there. So, working like that is essential for a frontline organisation like ours and many others, because obviously without FareShare sort of working with suppliers, gathering, doing that hard work of getting it all together and having it there for us, we wouldn't be able to feed the people, the Friday Hub especially through winter, but throughout the whole year. We have regularly 12, 15, probably more a week that come, share friendship, tell us if they've got any other problems, but most, and what brings together the most is just sharing food together. You can have a chat over a cheese toast, you can bake potato, but Claire's fantastic at making sure that it's nutritious as well, because that's essential, because a lot of these guys don't feed well, Claire's a bit like my gran used to be with me. You'd go to your gran's and you'd always walk out with a bag full of food. She makes sure that all the ones she knows are struggling or haven't got the funds or need that little extra help, they never leave empty-handed. They always end up with a plastic bag full of food. So thank you so much for everything you do, because we can't do what we do without you doing what you do.
If you're involved with a charity or community group in Greater Manchester and would like to find out how you could get surplus good-to-eat food from us to help serve your local community, please get in touch with Karina, our Membership and Information Coordinator. You can find Karina's email address and phone number in the show notes for this episode on your podcast app and on the FareShare Greater Manchester website. Thanks so much for listening. If you've enjoyed this episode and think someone you know would enjoy listening to, please do share it. The more people know about what we do at FareShare Greater Manchester, the more people we can try to help. This is the last of our Food Waste Week episodes, but we hope to be back with more Food Stories podcast episodes later in the year. To make sure you don't miss out on the next episode, please make sure you're subscribed to Food Stories from FareShare Greater Manchester on your podcast app and follow FareShare Greater Manchester on social media. Until next time, thanks for listening.